The Mercedes-Benz Interview Lounge.
All right, so I knew you were coming in. It is Pride Month.
It
and,
is.
of course, you'll be at Trevor Project gala tonight. We're going to get into that in a second. But, look, I wore my rainbow shoelaces.
And I saw your T-shirt. I love the shoelaces.
Yeah.
My rainbow zebra. And my boyfriend is a zookeeper. Yeah. So,
Oh, my God. Did you do that just for Pride Month?
Zookeeper?
Yes.
No.
Okay. I was like, that's so dedicated. Because the animals are so proud, which is
They're
crazy. They're their biggest promoters.
So last time we spoke with you, Adam, you had just won the big mirror ball from Dancing with the Stars.
Yes.
And so are you off that high?
Well, you know what? I came in here after like traveling and being on a red eye and like not sleeping at all for like a few days. But I went home this past weekend because my family lives in Pennsylvania. And I think like if it was like Olympics versus Dancing with the Stars, my family is way more excited about Dancing with the Stars than anything. Like they're like, oh, that's amazing that you like trained like 20 years, but like tell me about Dancing with the Stars that you did for 4 weeks. But I'm also sort of like, yeah, okay, let's sit down and let me tell you. So I tell them about it.
You enjoy it. Here,
I enjoy it.
I've got to make an assumption.
Please.
I assume you train for your life, basically.
Yes.
And you went to the Olympics. You did the Olympics, and you're a superstar. And then, boom, Dancing with the Stars. Do you feel like you're in this life where things have to happen rapidly? Now it's time for some other big thing to happen. Otherwise, you feel like you're floating. You're not really accomplishing anything.
Absolutely. I think like the weirdest part about right now is I feel like I can't take a break. And I feel like I would just like shut down, like start shaking and just like explode if I wasn't doing something. So I really like being busy right now because I'm trying to find like that next big thing.
Right. What is it going to be? Do you have a clue? Is there anything you can talk about?
I don't know. No, I would talk about anything, even if I wasn't allowed to. I do. I already do that.
You get in trouble all the time.
Yeah, I get in trouble.
I'm telling you, that chair you're sitting in, it pays a lot of money.
Oh my, that's exactly what I'm looking for.
And you don't keep that a secret. You want to do something that not only.
I mean, if you're not like, if you don't want money, you're lying.
Right. I mean, everyone wants to make a good living.
There's got to be satisfaction at the end of the day.
Yeah,
I mean,
I just want satisfaction.
I know people who make a lot of money who hate their lives.
No, see, like I associate money coming if you get to do something that you're passionate about.
Right.
I wouldn't want to get money any other way.
But look at what you're so great at doing.
I would get it like PayPal or check or whatever.
Venmo.
Yeah, Venmo.
I'm going to slide some cash into your Venmo.
Yeah.
I mean, look at what you're so great and passionate about. We'll start with figure skating. Now, is there money in figure skating other than what endorsements, I would assume?
There are endorsements, but if you don't get endorsements, it's basically just through your funding, which it's pretty minimal compared to like the expenses you have, and prize money at your competitions.
Right.
So like if you go to a Grand Prix and you win the Grand Prix, it's like a little over 20 grand.
Wow.
And then it's like second place is about like maybe 13, and then third is maybe 8. So you can kind of like make do.
Yeah.
I know, but I've watched your fashion game.
Yeah. You
need to be making more than $8 grand because you've been wearing some great, unless they're giving you wardrobe.
Not all of it.
No.
They give you some though, right?
Okay.
They give me some.
Yeah.
Like 1% of what I.
Yeah. No, because you're dressing. What? I'm not going to ask you who that is, but you're wearing some expensive clothes these days, and believe me, I know they cost money.
He's like, yeah.
So now, what about
These threads aren't cheap.
Now, were you?
But I am.
Cheap and tawdry. But wait, Wheaties. Are you on the Wheaties box?
No.
Now, what does Wheaties pay to have you on their box?
Well, I think they're really looking for like. See, here's the thing. Even when I was at the Olympics, I remember going on the Today Show, and they were like, who is having a better Olympics than you? And I was like, I don't know. Probably somebody that won, though.
Right.
There is that.
And you know what? I think that's who Wheaties is looking for. The winner.
You see, this is. I'm getting all pissed off again.
I don't think it should be though just about that. I think it should be about the people that we love, and we love you. People love you, and I think that's what it should be about.
I think that's more like Lucky Charms.
Fruity Pebbles.
Fruity Pebbles.
Yeah, Frosted Flakes. I think we need to look bigger than Wheaties.
Have you were you ever angry about what happened at the Olympics? I was mad because Alex and I watched your performance.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in tears. It was probably one of the most beautiful things. I felt like I was at the ballet, but it was on ice. Right. It was one of those beautiful things. The music, every move was perfect, but it just didn't check off the boxes that the judges wanted to check off. Mm-hmm. And I got pissed. I'm holding on to that anger for you, Adam.
Please, hold it tighter.
It doesn't matter. You let it all go. It doesn't matter to you?
No, it doesn't. Because you know what? I think that for me personally, I got to a point in my skating career where I just knew that I needed to go out and do my best, and that no matter what, if you win the competition or if you don't, if you do your best, you're really satisfied with that. And even if you win, but you skate terribly, you still have that feeling of having that pit in your stomach where you just didn't do your best.
Right.
So it's really like a personal sort of satisfaction.
Do you know, like when you're out there skating, like when you do something, do you go, oh boy, yep, that wasn't good. Oh, we're in trouble now. Like, you know?
I do that my whole life.
Do you? Oh.
Yeah, walk down the
We
street.
do that too.
Yeah. I'm like, oh boy.
You a bronze medal. Fabulous.
Great.
All right.
It's still a
Love
medal.
it. Are you kidding me?
Of course.
Yeah, I'm about it.
Okay. Now, back to this endorsement thing, because I'm intrigued with this life. So
here's the thing. I think that my problem right now, not problem, is that I felt even at the Olympics, I was almost having like an identity crisis of being an athlete, but somebody who was more of like not an athlete at the same time. Like I felt like I was having more fun doing the interviews and getting to talk with everybody.
You were enjoying that, but you're great at it though. Do you?
I love it.
Okay, I know, but Adam, going into the Olympics, you went there to compete. I don't think you knew going in that leaving the Olympics, you would be known as a TV personality. You basically morphed into that without knowing about it.
Yeah, I just didn't. I thought, like, you know what? I spent so many years trying to get to the Olympics that I was like, you know what? I'm going to soak in the whole experience and I'm going to chat with everybody. And while I was there, the biggest thing for me was to remember that what I was there for, so that I could like get that job done.
Yeah.
Right.
And I knew that I would get to talk to more people if I skated well. So I was like, all right, Adam, just do it if you want to talk to Andrea Joyce again.
And you did.
And I did for Andrea.
So have you had any offers for work from companies you would never ever, like, for instance, has the erectile dysfunction industry reached out to you and said, hey, will you plug?
I know that I do look like the face of ED. But they haven't reached out, which, you know what? I guess I'll put a feeler out.
Hey, Claudine. Claudine, say hi to Adam Rippon. He's here with us.
Hi.
What's going on, Claudine?
Well, not only do I want Adam to be the new co-host, I want him to be my new best friend, and I want to come to New York City, and I want to have brunch and mimosas with him, and then we go shoe shopping, and that is my perfect day.
Wow.
Sounds like both of our perfect days.
Mimosas and shoe shopping.
Yeah.
Mimosas and Elvis, you can come too.
Oh,
and
thank you.
Only if Elvis pays, he can come.
They always give me the bill. They do.
Bring the company card.
Yeah, Uncle Elvis. Was Claudine?
I invited, and Uncle Johnny has to be there.
No, God, no. Hey, Claudine, what is it about Adam that is so fascinating for you? Why do you want him to be your best friend?
Honestly, I didn't even know about Adam until I heard the interview with him after winning Dancing with the Stars. And he was so fabulous. And I started following him on social media. And I just think he's an amazing spokesperson for the community. He knows how to temper funny and information. And I think that's just such a talent. And he seems amazing.
Did you know that about you? You know how to temper information and fun. I think that's what.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I feel like is a little bit of my hidden talent, is being able to kind of, exactly what you said.
And then I think when you do that, you're able to connect to people, and it's all about relationships. And you're awesome. I love you.
Aww.
Wow.
Well, I love you too.
I love all you guys. You guys, I've been listening. I listen to almost every replay show since 2016, and I love you guys so much.
Claudine,
Aw,
thank you.
Thank you, Claudine.
Thanks for listening to us.
Thanks,
Wow.
Claudine.
See, this show, that's a pretty big deal, this show.
It is.
Don't poo-poo this show so fast,
I've
Adam.
never poo-pooed anything in my life.
Speaking of poo-poo, you were on that, I love that show called Hot Ones, where you eat these killer chilies while you're being interviewed.
Mm-hmm. Amazing. It was, honestly...
Wings, actually.
So I was starving before I had come into that interview, which isn't the greatest idea ever.
Yeah.
But in my mind, I was like, yeah, I'm going to have chicken. And I asked my brother had been watching the show, Hot Ones, and he was like, oh my God, you have to do it. And he's like, it's going to be, like, the wings are going to be so hot. And I was like, honestly, I really don't care. I'm starving.
The thing is, you sat down to do the interview, and you were a little cocky in the beginning. Like, oh, great, it's chicken wings. What
Yeah, I
could
was
possibly
starving.
go wrong?
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Hey, listen, you're really riding high when you see 10 wings in front of you and you're starving.
Okay. Do you have sound?
Yes,
Hold
right
on.
here.
Let me see what. Hold on.
I'm so sorry. Like, I can't help it. Like, I can't keep spitting. But I can't stop drooling. What did you even say? I'm like going into a blackout.
It got dramatic. Eating chicken wings.
First of all, the editing is amazing. With the like the music and everything in the background. But you know what? It kind of starts out, and I mean, everyone was making me feel really good. They're like, "Oh, most people don't take like a full bite of the chicken." I was like, "Yeah, but are most people starving when they get in here?" And I started having more and more, and
You can't stop. That's the thing with hot
Yeah.
food. If you stop, you feel the pain. You got to keep eating, which makes it worse.
yeah. So the host, I said, do you go through this trauma to your body every time you give an interview? And he says, I kind of follow who I'm interviewing. Like, if they take one bite and put it down, I just take one bite and put it down. But if they go to town and they start like chomping down all of these wings, and I always go to the bone.
Right.
That's what I was taught. That's how I got to the Olympics.
Of course. You
Go to the bone.
You got to go to the bone like
Yeah.
a good Pennsylvania
I mean-
boy will
Yeah,
do.
absolutely.
Straight
And-
Nate is from Pennsylvania. You go to the bone, right? Okay. Anyway.
Probably not yet.
Of course you
Okay,
do.
so you were going cartilage, you were eating everything.
Yeah, well, the cartilage is good for your own cartilage. so-
It is. You build new fresh cartilage.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I did that for hair, skin, and nails. You know,
Yeah.
the biotin.
Which, by the way, your skin is fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
It is
So
glowy.
there's this self tanner called Saint Tropez that you put a mitt on, and it's
Yeah.
like the mitt of shame.
Yeah.
And you just like at night rub it on.
Yeah.
And you wake up in the morning and you take a shower, and it's just this, all your doubts, which are brown, just wash off of you, brown and orange.
I didn't
It's
know
this-
doubts were brown.
Wow.
I didn't either until this morning when I washed them all off.
Yeah.
I know, but if you put it on before you go to bed, don't you wake up with your face on your pillow, basically?
Yeah, it looks like the Shroud of
the
Turin.
Shroud of Turin. Yeah, absolutely. It looks like a brownie melted on your. Okay, look. By the way, we're just talking to Adam Rippon about Rippon.
Yeah.
We're talking about anything and everything.
Yeah.
There is a really, really important purpose for your visit to New York.
Yes, there is.
Trevor Project. I want to get into that next.
Mm-hmm.
We have you for a few more minutes. We were told what's his out time as well?
8:45.
8:45.
Oh my God, that's so many minutes.
Don't be so excited, Adam.
All right, let's get into Trevor Project. Now let's talk about what you felt like when at the end of the day after eating all those hot chicken wings. Maybe we should do that off the
And
air.
I want to talk about Jenna withdrawal, whether you're having it or not.
Horrible.
Okay.
Withdrawal.
Withdrawal.
Yeah, I'm having
Withdrawal.
withdrawals.
Adam Rippon's here. We'll be right back. Excellent. Adam Rippon is here. We got stuff to talk about. By the way, after everything we covered over the last 30 minutes, the number one thing people are texting about, Adam, is your self-tanner.
People want to know.
Where do you get it, and what's it called again?
Okay, so it's Saint Tropez,
Okay.
and I get it at like Sephora or something.
Okay.
Or do you guys ever go on Guilt?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Love Guilt.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sometimes it's on Guilt for like $30.
Yeah, guilt is good. I
Yeah,
like
so
guilt.
sometimes you're wearing a bargained
I know,
skin
but
tone.
the fact that you're talking about it, they should be sending it to you by the case.
Well, then maybe this is the first time you talked about it.
Maybe we've been thinking about Wheaties when really we should have been thinking about this.
Self-tanning.
Yeah.
Because I know here on this show, here's another reason you should consider being the co-host.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You just mention a product, it miraculously arrives the next day.
So say Porsche. See what
Yeah,
happens?
I'll be like, a house. You guys, houses are amazing, and then I get one.
We got,
It's
do you remember,
crazy.
it was like a month ago. We got a case of lube.
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
Yeah, which one of us mentioned that?
I don't know, but
remember.
I keep sliding off the
Really?
chair. It's like, whoa.
You know that when I was at the Olympics, so the huge thing is like there's the condoms are everywhere.
Yeah.
And,
Right.
Like everyone has condoms.
But they're still in the packages.
yeah.
When you say they're
For
everywhere.
now.
Yeah, they're like on the floor. No, but like I wanted like these Olympic ring condoms.
Right.
Well, I go and they're just like these just generic things, and they just say condom on it. I was like, I waited my whole life for that. Well, so I complained about it in an Instagram story. Trojan sent me this box where it had like these plastic diamonds. They crystalled the like every single box and of 3 different sets of condoms.
See, that's the thing about this
Wow.
business. You just mention it.
Yeah.
And
That's
they,
the secret.
they
You put it
beda-
out into the universe.
That's it.
Yeah.
Comes
they
back.
bedazzle your condoms.
Mhm.
Hold on, who is this? Florian. It's Florian. Let's switch gears. We're here with Adam Rippon. Florian, hi.
Hello, hello,
Hey.
ladies.
Well, hello, lady.
lady.
Hello, lady. So, Florian, what's on your mind today? What's going on?
Coming out.
You're coming out.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congrats.
Thank you.
Even
Yeah,
to
we're
even to
going
say
to
I'm
try.
trying to, that's a major step.
Yes, it is. Just trying to do in steps.
So, may I ask you how old you are?
I'm 37.
37. Now, you say coming out. What does that mean to you? Are you going to talk to someone in specific? Is there someone you have in mind you want to talk to?
I mean, I was just trying to figure out what ways, what's the best way of doing it, and not make, lose friends and stuff like that.
Do you have one friend that you trust more than anyone else?
My assistant manager, she is out the closet, and I talk to her.
Oh, good.
Well, that's
So you're
good,
out.
Yeah, that's good.
So you've come out already then, in sort of.
Sort of, yes.
See,
I feel like the people who love you unconditionally, it'll mean literally nothing to them, and in the best way. Like they
Yeah.
love you for who you are. And I remember when I came out, I wanted to really, I didn't know how to do it either, and I wanted to really not be dramatic about it, and like stop a family dinner and be like, I have an announcement.
Right.
And so, well, I have like 6 brothers and sisters. So I actually did the more dramatic thing of like I came out to each one separately. So I came out like 100 times.
Right. And that wasn't that long ago, was it?
No, it wasn't. I was 22.
Right.
But you know what? It's such a huge step. I'm telling you, like, you're going to feel like you lost 1,000,000 pounds the more and more that you feel comfortable to come out to your friends, and you want to make sure it's like in a safe space and that you feel comfortable. But even just talking to one of your friends, and I'm sure you feel a lot of relief, and that you want that relief again with like other people in your life.
True.
Do you-
I
do
love
you-
my aunt because go ahead.
Sorry, do you think like maybe your close friends already kind of know, and it's just you?
Well, a lot of my coworkers already know. It's just other people.
Okay.
Okay, so you're keeping it from some people,
Yeah.
maybe family members or people that are too close, or I don't know. Tell me.
Yeah, I'm keeping from some family members and some people because I kind of live in the Bible Belt.
Oh, you can't kind of live in the Bible Belt.
Yeah.
You're in the Bible
Yeah.
Belt. See, I grew up in
Yeah.
Dallas. I grew up in the Bible Belt myself. My story, though, Florian, I got to say, is very unremarkable. I was just always been out, and I never ever had any problems with it, which is so interesting. And it's going to turn this conversation into the Trevor Project conversation in a second. But Florian, if anyone gives you hell, make sure you have a support system that's cool and strong, and someone you can turn to that can keep you strong.
True.
Yeah.
Well, look, best of luck to you. It sounds like you've come out more than you're giving yourself credit for.
Yeah, I'm coming out more and more and more and more. It's just taking it in strides.
Well, you deserve happiness. You deserve to live your life the way you want to live it. No one else is going to live it for you, Look, best of luck to you, and thank you for
All right.
listening to us. And keep in mind, being gay, even though that's only part of your identity, there's so much more to you than being a gay man. You know that, right?
I do.
Good. Remember that. You're a very special person.
I appreciate that.
All right, Florian, you have a great day. Thanks for listening to us.
All right, you too. Y'all have a great one.
You too.
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 See, this conversation's going on with a lot of people, especially this month.
Yeah, it's crazy. You know, I think it's really important to remember that like being gay is such a small part of your story. It can be a big part of who you are, but you don't want people to forget like what you're really about.
Right.
Like me, I'm money hungry.
Right. Yeah, right.
He lets that right. He lets you know that right
You
away.
have a nice
I
tan.
vary skin tones day to day.
Right.
That's what defines me. Gay? No.
No.
So
Beautiful.
You're an Olympian.
Olympian. Yes.
No,
I
but-
forgot about that.
I was like, shouldn't that be like number one on your list?
No, I have to think in the present. The Olympics happened. I need to be beautiful now.
You are. You're gorgeous. You're a gorgeous
Yes.
person.
Oh my
I mean, even if I was
From
blind,
the inside out.
if I was blind, I would think you're gorgeous because you're a lot of fun.
Yes.
You've got a really
You're very positive, which is very nice.
yeah. Don't make
The
us sit here
fresh
and
breath-
feed your ego. You don't
Yeah.
need
Stop
more of
it, I'm
that.
just eating it up.
Let's talk about the Trevor Project. You were saying a second ago, it could not be better timing.
I know it's so timely. So the Trevor Project is a foundation that it's a hotline for suicide prevention, and they have a focus in LGBTQ youth. But if there's any youth out there who are struggling or suffering, it's an open hotline, and it really couldn't be more timely with the really tragic deaths of
Kate Spade.
Kate Spade and Alex Bourdain.
Right.
And it's a perfect time right now to have this open conversation about mental health and how important it is, and it really can be like an invisible sort of burden and killer. That we really need to have this open conversation. We need to have an open discussion about mental health, and that's why I'm so excited that we're having this dinner tonight, and it's gonna, I hope, help a lot of young kids.
Trevor Project,
Yeah.
of course, has a track record of producing miracles, actually. I mean, not only are they there with the hotline, but if you just watch their social outreach is just phenomenal.
Yeah.
They do a great job with it. They really, really do. And you know what? We talk about this a lot on our show, Adam. Mental health is just something that for so many years people have been sweeping under the rug.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're older, like me, I remember the day, why are you smiling? I'm very old. I remember the day and age when, no, listen, this is very important.
Okay.
Breast cancer was something no one talked about back in the day.
Yep.
They would actually whisper the word cancer.
The C word, you don't say
The C word.
it. You don't say it.
Right.
And then when it became part of the conversation, it became part of our lives. That's when people started stepping up going, yeah, cancer, F cancer. Let's do what we can to get money to people who can figure it out,
Yeah.
And I'm hoping this is where mental health conversation is going.
I agree. And I think it's so important that different things that we go through, I think it's important to remember that a lot of us go through them, and that if you share your story, it could inspire somebody else to share their story, and that could help a lot of people.
Yeah.
Because I think, especially with mental health, a lot of people suffer silently and alone, and they think that they're weak or they think that they aren't good enough. But if they reach out, they can get the help that they need. And especially with LGBTQ youth, a lot of young people can just feel like, it's just not worth going on. And that the way that they feel right now is not going to change. But if they can reach out to a mentor, to somebody who can help them and lead them in the right direction, that can be a pivotal and such an important life change.
And therapists are saying now, with all the craziness going on in this world, that kids and young people are the most affected, and they're needing more therapy, and they have more anxiety, whether you're gay, whether you're straight, whatever, because of the way this world is.
Mhm.
And they all need some place to reach out, and it's hard sometimes. Kids find it hard to talk about these things,
And and part of the conversation with someone who is depressed, living with depression, or just sad, it's like, I don't want to be a burden on anyone.
Right.
And this is another reason I love Adam, because you'll walk into a room, I must assume, and say, hey, I'm here to be a burden, and I'm happy.
Yeah.
I think it's worth you paying attention to me. It's
Yeah.
worth you listening to me. And a burden, of course, is way overdrawn. But I'm just saying, you know
a
what?
burden.
No,
He meant that in a positive
Uplifting.
way.
uplifting. No matter what you're going through in your life, you're never a burden. You're cool. You're good.
Yeah.
You know, and don't be afraid to say, hey, I need a little help here. That's where people have
I
a
think
difficult time.
we so struggle, all of us, asking for help. It sucks, and it feels embarrassing sometimes, but it's not. It's actually one of the strongest and most powerful things you can do is asking somebody for help when you need it.
Yeah.
Right. Hey, Ashley, how are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing well. Say good morning to Adam Rippon.
Hi, Adam. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good.
So you're a mental health counselor?
I am. Yes.
And so
I'm a mental health counselor for troubled youth, ranging from like 5 years old to 18. And I work in the home. It's like an intensive in-home program. And I work actually one of my clients that I had a month ago who was 10 years old. He identified as being transgendered, and he lives in an area where it's really, really not accepted at all. And so just working with him and his struggles it was incredible because, you know, you can just really feel the struggle and the hurt he has inside because he isn't even accepted by his own parents. So it was just really, I felt really horrible for him. And it makes me feel good to do what I do because I feel it just needs to be put out there more. Like mental health is a really true thing. And he has a lot of anxiety and a lot of issues from that. And so just working with them at such a young age to help set them up for like a better future it was incredible to experience.
you know, you said something that kind of hit a nerve with me.
Yes.
In a positive way. You're
Okay.
saying you're dealing with he's 10 years old, correct? Or she?
Yes.
Okay. Now, we sometimes forget to give credit where credit is due with the youth
Yeah.
of America. We
Yeah.
think, oh, you're only 10. You don't know what you're going through. You're
Right.
you're only 12. Wait, you know, I've lived many years, more than you. Let me tell you how life is.
Right.
Well, no, that's not how it works.
Yeah.
They're on their own
Right.
journey, on their own path, 10 years old.
And a lot of times they may not
Absolutely.
know exactly what they're going through, but they do know they're going through something, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. So it was just, and it was for me, it was incredible to experience him saying these things at such a young age and knowing that, like, you know, this is how he identifies, and maybe he isn't as truly aware as maybe an adult would be, but he knows that that's what he is, and that's another incredible thing too, is because he's so young and being able to like say, hey, this is who I am, and I'm not going to change, was really awesome. I think.
There you go. So another reason why, are you familiar with the Trevor Project?
I'm actually not.
You
but
should.
Just listening to it now, that's why I wanted to call in because, I thought it was really important.
I must assume, Adam, they have resources for counselors like Ashley as well.
I think they do.
I think you should look into
Okay.
that. The Trevor Project.
Yeah, I would definitely
Look into
definitely
it.
do that.
Thank you, Ashley. Thanks for listening
Awesome.
to us.
Thank you guys. Thank you so much.
There you go. I know tonight's gala is going to be a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's a gala.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of fun. But it's really you could not have chosen a more worthy, more incredible organization. In my opinion.
Oh, I agree. I think that's why I'm a part of the dinner tonight. I think that it's really important to me to do things that like really hit home for me, or feel like they can really help a lot of people. And, on a serious note of like kind of that explosion that happened at the Olympics, I feel that like it's really important to me to be able to like help and give back, and that's the most important to me, and that even comes before money, which is saying a lot.
Good. I like your priorities are falling in the perfect order.
Yeah.
Money's secondary. Where's love? You got love in there somewhere?
Yeah, the whole thing is love.
Okay, all
Money's
right.
love,
It's all about
baby.
love.
Excellent. Well, look, it's very important, just like Adam has decided to do. You should dig deep with Trevor Project. They do so many things. They have their Trevor Lifeline. You can go on and text them, whatever you need. Trevor Space. All sorts of resources for anyone and everyone who's going through the struggle or just want to learn more. Just do a Google on the Trevor Project and find out more about that. That's so cool. Trevor Live, that's tonight with, of course, Adam Rippon and Gus Kenworthy. And Rita Ora's in town. What?
I love Rita Ora.
Wait,
Yeah.
what? I look at Rita Ora.
Rita Ora.
Rita Ora.
Why is Rita Ora in town? And we don't know.
Why is she not here? She loves us.
She
Hello.
should bring her next time, would you?
I will. I'll be like, hey, Reet.
Have you met her before?
No, I've never met her.
Oh, she's awesome.
awesome.
Tell her we said hi,
She's
okay?
so
Oh, I
sweet.
will.
Yeah.
I will.
Adam-
I'm so excited to meet her.
Thank you for coming in.
Oh, thanks for having me.
I'm telling you, there's a lot of money to be made in that seat.
I'm just feeling how much.
And we our shows are usually just explosive, fun, festive.
I mean, I'm telling you, I'm from the East Coast, and I listen to this show every morning.
well, there you go. At the very least, you should get some Tropez self-tanning
Yeah.
lotion out of
Hello.
Very
it.
least.
With
At
the
the
mitt.
very least, for all my troubles, I should get at least one free bottle of San Tropez.
That's
Go for the case.
Yeah.
Adam Rippon, thank you for coming in.
Thank
We
you
love
so much.